time now for our Chevrolet baseball moment. We go back to April 18th, 1923, as Yankee Stadium opens to over 60,000 fans. On this day, Babe Ruth launches a 3-run home run in the 4th inning as the Yankees defeat the Boston Red Sox 4-1. Beautiful look at Yankee Stadium, tonight's baseball moment. There's number 3, the Babe. And there are the monuments out in center field.
Immortalizing the Yankee greats.
It's interesting that Babe Ruth is right next to Miller Huggins, who was his skipper, and they didn't get along at all. And there they are, monuments right, side by side.
Somebody's idea of a joke.
Well, the little son has a white Yankees cap on. And there's a look at Yankee Stadium.
The famous facade. They've changed the locker rooms around for the Yankees, and over each locker now is a facsimile of that facade. Something just a little bit different. Even though this ballpark is as old as it is, they keep making improvements. And now they have a player's lounge in there that's as good as you're going to find in any ballpark in the American League, or in baseball for that matter.
Here's Paul O'Neill. He walked his last at bat after grounding out to short. Well, this ballpark holds better than 57,000. They had 57,178 in 1995 for the American League Championship Series against Seattle, but the most they've ever put in here was 81,841 at the old Yankee Stadium, which they could really pack in with a 1938 doubleheader, a regular season doubleheader against the Boston Red Sox. And have they had some great battles, those two clubs. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1 to Paul.
About the only place I think they could fit those extra fans would be in that area out there in left center field. There wasn't a monument area, and also that area that's now the hitter's eye in right center field. You see that's the area I'm talking about behind the flagpole. That's the first area. But that other area, back until I don't know the dates, but people used to sit out there on a regular basis.
Yep.
And the hitters would have to try to find that baseball coming out of those white shirts. There it is. That's one heck of a crowd.
81,000 fans. McDowell has fallen behind Paul O'Neill, 3 balls and 1 strike. Hot dog wrapper blew past McDowell. He will go and pick it up. Put it in his back pocket and dig in against O'Neill with the count 3-1. Smacks foul and out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. But apparently Ruth showed up late to a game in St. Louis, and Huggins fined him $5,000. Ruth said to management, "I quit. I'm leaving." Didn't come. Management backed Huggins. And from that day on, Ruth absolutely hated Miller. And there he is, his monument right next to the guy he despised, his skipper, Miller Huggins. Threw that fastball up and in right by Paul O'Neill, so he strikes out to start the bottom of the 6th inning.
First strikeout registered by Jack McDowell, and it comes on a high fastball. Look at that run on that pitch. A little bit of a new wrinkle for Jack McDowell, a little bit of a cut action. You can tell by the way that the ball was caught by Nevin. It was tipped just a little bit, but Bill holds on. 1 out here in the 6th.
And Bernie Williams comes to the plate. Bernie for MVP. You could throw an argument out there. But you've got guys like Ken Griffey Jr. having a solid season. Tino Martinez with 102 RBIs for this ball club.
Garcia Parra, possibility.
Ball foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Juan Gonzalez has 127 RBIs for the Texas Rangers. And there is Tino. You know, that is what is interesting. This ball club has 94 wins, 33 losses. And you really can't say one guy jumps out at you as an MVP. That ball is struck well to deep left center. Reggie Williams at the wall will run it down. 2 outs.
The generous dimensions in left center field worked against the Yankees on that fly ball. The ball's hitting Anaheim. It's a home run. But instead, it curls right back. Reggie Williams, who has pretty good speed, is able to camp under it for an out.
Do you remember when 399 said 457?
Well, that was before my time, but I remember the pictures that you used to bring back and show me from the times you used to visit games when it was actually that way.
You should have seen DiMaggio play center field here, Jer. He was unbelievable. There's that good curveball to Tino Martinez, strike one. Now, they said DiMaggio is just so beautiful to watch run and play that center field area. He would glide, much like Bernie Williams does for this New York Yankee Ball Club in 1998. Popped up foul. It will be out of play, and it will be strike two to Tino Martinez.
Watching DiMaggio play center field was probably like watching ballet. As graceful as he was.
Yeah, he would never show any emotion. They said the only time he did was that one World Series game where he hit the ball. Al Gianfrido made that tremendous catch sliding into the fence, and Joe kicked second base. Curveball misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the crowd went, woo. But so many greats have played here. 38 Hall of Famers have come through the house that Ruth built. Little tapper towards first. Nevin up quickly. His throw is in time. Did he pull him off the bag? He pulled him off the bag, so Martinez is safe.
Tino, who plays first base, probably knows these foul lines here better than anybody. You see Nevin go after it. Slow getting out of the box. There's the throw.
But he's inside the line, Jerry.
Let's take a look one more time. Does he beat the play? That's the first thing we'll look for. No, I thought Erstad had the ball before Martinez touched the bag.
And Martinez was running inside the line, which gives Nevin a harder target to throw to, and which is illegal, and the home plate umpire could have called him out, but he does not. Here's Chili Davis. So it will go as a base hit for Tino Martinez. Davis takes it inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Chili started the trouble for Jack back in the 5th inning, leading off with a base hit up the middle. Chad Curtis, after a wild pitch, sent Chili Davis to second base. Curtis sent a ground ball to Randy Velarde, and that got Davis to third. Roche's doubled, Girardi singled, and that scored 2. And there's a ground ball short. Gary DiSarcina to second for the force, and we go to the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium. It is New York 2 and the Angels nothing.
Sooner or later, a Mazda's gonna move you. We just thought we'd speed up the process. It's Mazda's Make Your Move clearance event. Get 0.9% APR financing on thousands of new Mazdas. Or check out big cash back and great lease deals. Call or visit our website for details. See your Mazda dealer and make your move today.
On the next LAPD.
Police officers, we have a search warrant. Open the door!
The SWAT team closes in on a suspected drug house.
Upstairs, we found evidence that they were cooking up some rock.
Then, a frightening standoff as police on edge.
Hey, come on out over here! Okay. Come on out to the front!
And the search begins for a dangerous suspect trying to escape from the law on the next LAPD, Life on the Beat.
LAPD, 7:30 tonight on KCAL 9.
Look out. Something wild is about to take over the streets of Los Angeles. NASCAR. It's the Ford LA Street Race. This isn't like watching it on TV. This is for real, and it's right downtown. Tough NASCAR drivers like Mark Martin, Chad Little, and Kenny Schrader are going to be screaming by the Coliseum at Exposition Park. It's NASCAR's 50th anniversary, and your Ford dealers decided to throw them a big party. LA will never be the same. This Labor Day weekend, see the NASCARs run.
This summer, Hilton Honors members can earn double miles just by charging their double-dip stays at Hilton with an American Express card. Call today for reservations at over 400 Hiltons worldwide.
Jack McDowell talking with Chuck Finley. When you've got that many years of experience, my goodness, you can learn some new things. Both guys throw that split finger pitch. Is he pushing split finger?
They're talking about the finish on the split finger. At least it indicates by holding the hand in proper position in the finish. You can see their fingers spread out to both guys. Well, McDowell probably had as good a split finger as you were going to find back years ago. And Finley, no doubt about it, you ask American League hitters, they'll tell you that he might have the best that they've seen from a lefty.
Those two guys in the dugout have combined for 276 victories. Now Tim Salmon to lead things off, and he busts it towards right center field. Racing back, Paul O'Neill. He will not reach it. It is off the wall, and Salmon goes to second base with a leadoff double. Erstad, meantime, visiting with Rod Carew as Darren has struck out in the game and really looked bad in a couple of nasty pitches by Andy Pettit.
But no problem on this pitch delivered to Tim Salmon as far as the Angels are concerned. A fastball up out over the plate. A rare mistake that Andy Pettit doesn't get away with. Shows pretty good power hitting this ball to right center field. I thought he hit it off the end of the bat a little bit. But he drove it 385 feet. He's on second base with a leadoff double, and the Angels have a chance to put some runs on the board.
Curveball hit to left field. Right there, Chad Curtis. He will make the catch. Salmon bluffs the move to third and forces a throw by Curtis. There's one out.
Again, a pitch that was up in the strike zone delivered by Andy Pettit. He might have got away with this one. Green jumped all over it, hit it off the end of the bat. Routine fly ball in left field for one out.
Finley and McDowell getting together as Jack had just the one bad inning when he gave up 2 runs on 4 hits in the 5th.
Couple of bookends, don't you think? Twin sons, different mothers.
They think alike, they compete alike. Now Garrett Anderson, the batter. And Garrett sends it high and deep to right field. And this ball game is now tied.
Just like McDowell had problems in the 5th inning, as the Yankees were able to explode for a pair of runs on 4 hits, Andy Pettit has had problems with the first 4 batters that he's faced. He got away with one to Green, but he didn't get away with his hanging curveball to Garrett Anderson. Anderson, a good high ball hitter, but especially against left-handers. He gets all of this one. Watch where this ball goes. It hit off the facade on the upper deck, puts 2 runs on the board. And just like that, the Angels are tied, and Troy Gloss joins the hit parade as he lines the first pitch into center field. So the Angels got things going in the 7th.
Garrett Anderson just hit his 13th. The Angels have come back again to tie an opponent. They have tied the New York Yankees. You can see the dent right above the Utz potato chip sign in deep right field. That is a way like 425 feet away.
That's where the big boys hit him.
That's a Mark McGuire blast.
That is. That had his kinds of dimensions.
So Gloss at first base. He's now 1 for 3. The Angels have come back from a 2-0 deficit on a double by Salmon, a home run by Anderson. Now the go-ahead run is at first base, and Troy Gloss with Phil Nevin, who has 8 home runs this year. Phil has grounded out and fly to left. Pop foul back towards us, strike 1. I thought Mel Stottlemyre might come out of the dugout just to talk to Andy, not only to slow him down, but also to allow the New York Yankee bullpen to get busy.
Actually, I thought what he would do is come out to the mound to give the outfielders a chance to get a breather. Pettit has been up in the strike zone, and the Angels have been jumping all over everything. Pettit just got away with a curveball in that last pitch to Nevin.
Inside corner, strike 2.
He paints on the inside corner with that cut fastball, so he's way ahead of Nevin.
What was that line you gave a pitching coach when he came out to get you, and he said, and you said, "I'm not tired," and he said, "Yeah, but you outfielders sure are."
That happened more than once, so I imagine there was a few more than the one pitching coach that had to deliver that message.
Ground ball third. It is past Brocious. It's a fair ball. Going to third base and holding there is Gloss. To second base is Phil Nevin. And the Angels with a great opportunity to take the lead in this 7th inning.
With 2 strikes on him, watch what Nevin does. He gets a fastball a little bit out over the plate. He hits over the top of it. Brocious tried to backhand a short hop. That's always a dangerous play. It hits off the upper part of his glove, maybe his wrist, and rolls into foul territory, and it's the hustle of Jeter that keeps a run from scoring. Glaus advancing to third. Nevin on the double. That's going to force the Yankees to pull the infield in on this tie ball game.
So Andy Pettit, who came in with a 2-0 lead and had shut out the Angels for 13 innings, gives up 2 runs and quite possibly more with 1 out and runners in second and third. Let's see if DeSarcina will bunt. Nope, he takes a strike. Thought maybe the squeeze play might be in effect.
It's a possibility simply because DeSarcina is the best bunter in this ball club. He's got 11 sacrifice hits. It's tied for second most in the American League, so it shows that he can handle the bat as far as bunts are concerned. But lifetime against Pettit, he's 10 for 25, so Terry Collins has a couple of options to use with his number 9 hitter.
The infield is in. DeSarcina chops it to the plate. He's behind, strike 2. But he's a tough man to strike out. And with the infield in, your percentages really go up of getting a knock, because to hold the man at third base, DeSarcina has to hit it right at an infielder. If he finds a gap in between third and short, second and first, makes that fielder move, he has to go to the base rather than home. Lost with the lead at third. Pettit brings the 0-2 pitch. And DeSarcina lines it to left. A base hit. Here comes Gloss right behind Phil Nevin, and the Angels take a 4-2 lead.
How about that? Nevin with 2 strikes is able to deliver a double down the third base line. DeSarcina, he has 2 strikes and no balls. Gets a cut fastball that's over the heart of the plate and drills it down that left field line. You know that the runner on third, Gloss, is going to come around to score. Nevin is able to score on the play as well. So the Angels have put 4 on the board in the 7th.
And DeSarcina in scoring position as Joe Torre has seen his starting pitcher, Andy Pettit, who was pitching a masterpiece coming into this frame, really get rocked in the 7th inning, and now Reggie Williams is up. Reggie 0 for 3, flied to right, grounded out, and hit into a 1-6-3 outstanding play that Pettit started. That ball hit in the air, high, deep to center field. Reggie Williams back about 5 feet from the warning track, makes the catch. DeSarcina will tag second, go to third. He's there now with 2 outs.
From one Williams to another. That's 408 out there in that area where that fly ball was caught. Reggie Williams gave that ball a ride. DeSarcina read that fly ball and the action by Bernie Williams perfectly and was able to tag and advance.
Well, Joe Torre has so much confidence in his ball club. They came back yesterday, almost beat the Texas Rangers after being down, and scored a run in the 7th, 3 more in the 8th. Finally, John Wetland cooled them off in the 9th inning. But it was a seesaw back and forth meeting on Saturday that really impressed the New York fans, as the Yankees came from behind 3 times to win it 12-9. The Yankees are 32-15 this year when the other team scores first. Well, tonight it's the Yankees who go up 2-0. The Angels have come back with 4 in the 7th. Inside to Randy Velarde. Still, when you have 94 wins, way more than everybody else, you lead the American League in comeback wins, and they've done that this year.
just another category where you're going to find the Yankees on top.
Saturday night's 12-9 win over the Rangers was the Yankees' 43rd come-from-behind victory of the season. They had 33 all last year, a season that they won 96 games. So Terry Collins happy with a 4-2 lead, but he knows that he is still 9 outs away. Breaking ball misses. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Randy Velarde. Former Yankee has a 2-for-3 show thus far with a single to left, a single to center. Outside that, he's out on a fielder's choice. DiSarcina, third base. Velarde takes ball 4, and here comes Darren Erstad. We've seen it with Rod Carew with 2 very long discussions in the dugout. Erstad is 0 for 3 in the game, twice grounding out. The other time, struck out. The Angels have their 9th man at the plate in this 7th inning. There's the great hitting instructor, Rod Carew, and one of his star pupils, Darren Erstad.
It was a long discussion, too. It's gone on the entire inning. Up until the time that Erstad got his bat, helmet, got on the on-deck circle.
He started him curveball in his first 3 at-bats. Comes curveball again, a little change off of it, and it's strike 1. And he had a 3-hit shutout through 6 innings, but in this inning, he has allowed 3 doubles and a home run. Garrett Anderson tied it with a 2-run homer. Ross singled, Nevin doubled, DiSarcina doubled in 2 runs to make it 4-2. Runners on the corners. Strike 2.
That pitch looked like it had some split finger action, didn't it? A little drop at the end. So a slider, an off-speed pitch of some sorts. And he has Erstad in the hole 0-2, but it's not always guaranteed he's going to get out of this. He's given up 2 strike doubles that have cost him a pair of runs.
Goes to first base. He's really taken off against Darren, forcing him to chase that pitch that's low and away and really not a strike.
The reason he's been able to do that is because he's gotten ahead in the count.
He'll go low and away again. Erstad taps one back up the middle. It is fielded by Knobloch. His throw to first, not in time. DiSarcina scores, and the Angels lead 5-2.
So Pettit, who gets another 0-2 count on an Angels hitter, can't get that out. This time it's Erstad who hits a ground ball headed up the middle, stopped by Knobloch. His long throw to first base is right on the money. Martinez has to come off the bag a little bit, but I thought Erstad would have been there anyway. It's a base hit, an RBI, and in the 7th inning, the Angels have pushed across 5.
And it all started with the man at the plate. Now Tim Salmon. Garrett Anderson hit the 2-run home run to tie it. Jimmy Edmonds, one of his closest friends, is checking out where he hit it. Well, all we know is he got it all. 425 feet it went off the Utz potato chip sign in deep right field. Anaheim by 3. Here's Salmon. Time called as Velarde's now at second base. Erstad first base. Tim started the inning with a double to right field. Todd Green then flied to left. Anderson hit the home run. Gloss singled. Nevin doubled. DiSarcina doubled. Williams flied out. Velarde walked, and Erstad just reached on an infield hit to drive in the 5th run. Changeup, ball 1. Just misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike Buddy's the right-hander, Graham Lloyd the lefty. Their bullpen is not completely healthy with injuries to Darren Holmes and also to Jeff Nelson. The 2-0. Salmon takes low. 3 balls and no strikes.
In fact, there's a great deal of concern with the Yankees about their bullpen for postseason. Because of the question mark with Nelson in the bullpen, they made a trade with San Diego for Jim Bruschi. They've got Bruschi at AAA Columbus in the event that Nelson won't be healthy by the time they have to choose rosters, and I think that's August 31st.
Salmon takes inside, ball 4. The bases are loaded, and now the 11th Angel to bat in this inning will come to the plate in Todd Green. Out comes Mel Stottlemyre for the visit. Do you want the youngster Buddy? Do you want Graham Lloyd? Now, you probably go with Lloyd, the right-hander, rather than a lefty to face power-hitting Todd Green. Only 2 walks in the game by Andy Pettitte. Both have been in this inning, and both have been to the last 3 batters. Velarde walked in this just 2 batters ago. Then Erstad reached on the infield hit to drive in a run. So a chance to really break this game open with a big hit here as the Angels have taken a 3-run lead in the 7th inning.
You know, I'm surprised that Stottlemyre didn't come out earlier in the inning, especially after the second batter, DeSarcina, got a hit with 2 strikes.
There's the recipient of it all, Jack McDowell. It's Green first, then Garrett Anderson, who way back earlier in this inning hit a 2-run home run that charged up Angel fans out on the West Coast when he tied it up. Here's Green. And he has a mighty swing, trying to hit a grand slam with 1 swing of the bat. It's strike 1. There's Velarde, third base. Erstad second. Salmon first. Strike 2.
Pettitte against Green is reaching back for something less. A BP fastball, the first pitch, had a little bit of sink to it. Green swung over the top. This time comes in with a changeup and has Green 0-2. Garrett Anderson looks on, hoping for another chance to bat this inning.
Hits it foul. Remember, the Angels have 2 two-strike doubles that you were talking about. The bottom of the frame, one by Phil Nevin, one by Gary DeSarcina, which were real clutch base hits with 2 outs. And Erstad's infield hit came with 2 strikes.
So 3 times in this inning, Pettitte has had things his way. It's just that he couldn't close the deal against those 3 hitters, and he's paid dearly for it. 5 have come across the score for the Angels in the 7th.
Green waiting the 0-2 pitch from Andy Pettitte. He struck him out. Garrett Anderson started it with a 2-run home run. And the Angels scored 3 after for a 5-2 lead. Compliments of Toyota. You can win 4 Angels tickets to an upcoming game. Tune in to 1110 KRLA tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock and identify Garrett Anderson as tonight's featured Angel, and you can score 4 Angels tickets. Well, Garrett has to contribute $500 to his favorite charity because of that long blast that got the Angels started to a 5-run 7th inning. Now they've got to hold them right here with Jack McDowell facing Chad Curtis, Scott Brosius, and Joe Girardi. Jack comes right back, fastball up and in, ball 1. And Andy Pettitte telling pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre that he's fine. I think Mel and Joe will be the judge of that.
That's probably a good point. Good change. Yeah, good changeup delivered by McDowell. I tell you what, that is some poise by Andy Pettitte. After giving up 5 runs, I couldn't tell the difference between the way he handled himself that half inning as opposed to the previous 6.
Pettitte talking with Joe Girardi, his catcher, about what went wrong in that awful 7th inning when 11 Angels batted, 5 runs scored. Ground ball, Randy Velarde comes up nicely for him. 1 out. It's interesting watching Jack McDowell go into the dugout, talk with Chuck Finley, and get the success back. Now, in 13 in the third innings, he's allowed just 2 earned runs in the 2 games since his return from the disabled list for that elbow problem. Only 1 walk.
And it's not the vintage McDowell that we've seen in the past either. Not the dominating kind of pitcher that used to use the split finger to get himself out of a jam with a key strikeout. Now, this is a different kind of McDowell. McDowell has been retiring batters early in the count.
Hopped out of play, strike 1. The Angels trying to get stronger defensively, bring Orlando Palmeiro into the game to play left field. Angels hope to get Jim Edmonds back in the lineup after being out the last 3 games with that sore back that he suffered on Friday. Now Scott Brocious has the count, strike 1. Brocious 1 for 2 in the game. Hopped to right and doubled to right to drive in a run. And there's a ground ball pass cross into left field. And this guy just keeps on hitting. You talk about unsung heroes. Certainly Brocious, the lead candidate for comeback player of the year in the American League. Texas has taken a 4-0 lead on the Detroit Tigers and Justin Thompson. That ball game in the 5th inning. Angels leading 5-2 in the 7th. The Angels win. Texas wins. The lead still will be 2.5 games in the American League West. With 31 games to go. Will Clark hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Juan Gonzalez knocked in a run. He now has 128 RBIs this year. And Girardi goes after an off-speed pitch thrown by Jack McDowell.
Curveball by McDowell. He's shown 2 different kinds of curveballs tonight. 12-6 kind of curveball. It drops. That one a little more lateral movement. But it has the same effect. Gets it on the outside corner. And the catcher Girardi swings right through it.
Was that the split?
Yes, indeed.
You know, that was a pitch I was talking to Jack about that his brother taught him in high school.
That's brotherly love, isn't it? What a moneymaker this has been for McDowell. And when he throws it, he still has good command of it. We've seen 3 of them. And he's throwing them in situations that he considers key. That was back in the 5th inning when the Yankees put a pair on the board, but he used it to get himself out of a jam. This time he delivers one to Girardi. It's a count 0-2, misses with a fastball, and it goes 1-2.
Jerry, his brother taught it to him at Notre Dame High School in Van Nuys, and he said it came rather easily. The first couple of times I threw it, I thought, whoa, that pitch is doing something. Now if I turn my hand a little bit, it'll rotate a little more. Brocious is a threat to go. New York steals a lot of bases.
But isn't that just like a pitcher? Once you learn the mechanics of something, you start playing with it and see what else you can do with it. Finley's learned that very thing. With a twist of his wrist just slightly, he can get that splitter to tail away from a right-hander or to run away from a left-hander. So now, 1 grip, 1 slight wrist turn, and you've got 3 different choices. Then we haven't even gotten into the factor that you can change speeds on it by just pushing it back in your hand a little bit.
Brocious does not go. The ball is hit to Velarde. Eats it up. Goes to second. 1. First base. Yes, they got the double play, ending the 7th inning. And Jack McDowell has gone 7 tough innings. The Angels have come back to help them out offensively and now defensively for a 5-2 lead.
Pizza Hut pan, it's priceless, but the pizza it holds for a short time is unbelievably just $8.99. And that unheard of price, it goes for a Supreme or up to 3 toppings too. Amazing. Pizza Hut, the best pizzas under one roof.
Hey, there's still time this summer to get behind the wheel of a Jeep Wrangler for under 15 grand. Or drive home in a new Grand Cherokee. Right now, you can lease one for just $2.99 a month. Or select 0 down and no monthly payments for 6 months. Some different offers that seem to evoke the same response. At your California Jeep dealer. Who else?
Anaheim Angels baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealer. Come in and see the full line of Lincolns and Mercuries today. Rod Carew still talking with Darren Erstad. Even Jack McDowell is listening in. As well, I hope that Darren is all right. He was twisting his back, but they have been talking about his approach to Andy Pettitte. He got the hit. He got the RBI. Meantime, catcher Phil Nevin has moved in to have a discussion with Jack McDowell, who's been splendid tonight.
Another outstanding performance by McDowell. But this is a different Jack. I've talked about this the whole game. A Jack of different trades, so to speak. Utilizing changing speeds in a fastball, an occasional split finger, and a curveball. It's not the strikeout kind of pitcher that we've seen in the past, but it is the winning pitcher that we've seen in the past, as he's only given up 2 earned runs in 7 innings.
Now Garrett Anderson hitting one to Tino Martinez. Tino takes care of Garrett for the first out of the 8th inning.
You know, that conversation between Carew and Erstad, I wonder if it has anything to do with elbow position of Erstad when he's standing at the plate. Holding that elbow too high, maybe too low. Maybe making an adjustment as he faces a tough left-hander like Pettitte. I guess that's something we'll talk about tomorrow before the ball game and see what this conversation was concerning.
And we'll be on KCAL 9 tomorrow night as the Angels send Omar Olivares against Hideki Arabu. I'll give you that information. Talk to Rod Carew about his discussion with Darren. Here's Troy Gloss, singled his last at bat, and he smacks that one to third. Brocious up with it. His throw is in time.
Nice play by Brocious, who went to his right. Was able to get his feet in proper position, picks up the high hop, plants, and fires across the diamond for the second out.
Now Phil Nevin, he's 1 for 3 in the game, double in that 7th inning. And the Angels had 6 hits, scored 5 times to take a 5-2 lead in the race, what once was a New York 2-0 advantage. Phil takes inside ball 1. This game was scoreless until the 5th inning, when New York scored 2 runs in the 5th on base hits by Brocious and Joe Girardi. But the Angels came back in the 7th inning after Pettitte had pitched 6 innings of brilliant baseball. He gives up 6 hits, 5 runs, a 2-run homer by Garrett Anderson, back-to-back doubles by Phil Nevin, a double earlier by Tim Salmon. And was all said and done, the Angels had scored 5 and given Jack McDowell a 3-run lead. Foul up play. It'll go to 2-1. Well, there's one of the heroes. My goodness, did he get into one. It's hard to believe he only has 13 home runs this year, because Garrett Anderson does have great power. And Phil Nevin rips one to left, but right at Chad Curtis, who leaps a little bit at the end to pull it down. The Angels go quietly in the 8th against Andy Pettitte, who's come back after giving up 5 in the last.
Hold, please. One moment, please.
Hey, got a minute?
I've got a call.
Have you heard? Toyota's national clearance event is on. Drive home a new Corolla without paying a dime. No dollars, no cents, absolutely nothing due at lease signing. Then you pay only $199 a month to lease a Corolla. That's an incredible value. Or get a super low APR. This Corolla has AC, power steering, deluxe stereo, and more. So get down to your Toyota dealer's national clearance event now.
Your call cannot be completed.
What do you like to eat at IHOP?
Pancakes.
Well, what would you have for lunch at IHOP?
Pancakes.
What if IHOP had sandwiches like honey mustard chicken, barbecue chicken, triple deluxe burger, and double cheeseburger, all loaded up with fries, and each for less than $4? Then what would you have for lunch?
Pancakes.
Okay. What's the capital of Arkansas?
Pancakes.
That's what I thought you'd say. 4 new lunches under $4 each, only at IHOP. We have pancakes, too, if you want them.
The race is on. 8,000 cars and trucks on the starting line, and you can't lose. It's the Ford 8,000 sales event. Your Ford dealers are out to sell 8,000 cars and trucks faster than ever. Get as low as 0.9% APR for 4 years, or up to $2,000 cash back, plus discount coupons for the NASCAR-sanctioned Ford LA Street Race. The Ford 8,000 sales event. Get the Ford you want and save some serious cash.
Let's go! Fortune 500 companies know that when it comes to renting a car, National Car Rental gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. National Car Rental. Let's go!
Angel fans, it's back to school time at Edison International Field. Saturday, September 5th, the Angels will battle the Kansas City Royals, and all kids under the age of 12 will receive an Anaheim Angels backpack courtesy of AMC Theaters. Get your tickets today at the stadium box office or call 714-663-9000 for your tickets now. Well, a great performance by Jack McDowell. He goes 7 innings, allows 2 runs. Last game, he went 7 innings, didn't give up a run. Wow, what a way he has come back against the Tigers and tonight against the Yankees. And now he will hand that baseball over to Rich DeLucia.
For DeLucia, it's his 51st appearance this season. Last time out was 6 days ago against the White Sox, as he pitched only once during the most recent homestand. So DeLucia hasn't been working a whole lot, which might be the reason why Terry Collins is going to call on him. It figures DeLucia will pitch just 1 inning, and they'll turn the ball over to the closer, Troy Percival.
But DeLucia has some very tough hitters to face. Chuck Knobloch, Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill. If anybody gets on, Bernie Williams, and he comes high with a fastball, ball 1. Hasegawa went 2 innings on Saturday. I do not know if he is available. But pitched very, very well. And Troy Percival, an inning and a third last night as the Angels beat the Toronto Blue Jays in the final game of that 3-game series, taking 2 of 3 from the Jays. And DeLucia misses badly, up and then wide. It's 2-0.
Now he's throwing under the baseball those first 2 pitches. Pushing that ball toward home plate. That's why you see it riding high. See if we can make that adjustment. Slow things down and get that first strike. There it is. Up, down low. So now he's 3-0 behind Knobloch, a hitter who is among the league leaders in pitches seen per at bat.
Well, DeLucia can throw one right down the middle because Chuck Knobloch will be taking. He's a very disciplined hitter. There it is, 3-1. Knobloch is 1 for 2 in the game. That was a double in his last at bat in the 5th inning. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th, lined out sharply to Reggie Williams in center field. His first time up. Comes right back with strike 2, 3-2. Knobloch's total offensive numbers down from 1 year ago. His power numbers are up. Ground ball hit to the right side. Velarde eats it up. Throws to Erstad. 1 big out after Rich had fallen behind 3-0.
Knobloch might have gone after ball 4. That pitch up just a little bit. Rolls it to Velarde. And 1 quick out. So DeLucia making the adjustment after not seeing a lot of work over the past couple of weeks is able to come back against the leadoff hitter Knobloch.
So now he goes against the great shortstop Derek Jeter. You talk about American League batting leaders. New York is 1 and 5 with Williams and Jeter. You've got Todd Walker of Minnesota, Mo Vaughn, Eric Davis in that bunch. What a great year Eric Davis of Baltimore has had. But how about this kid who they feel in the future will take over the leadership role? I mean, right now he is only 24 years of age. He was their #1 pick in 1992 out of Central High School in Kalamazoo, Michigan. In there, 1-1. DeLucia right now is challenging. He's got a 3-run lead. Busting that fastball in there, about 89, 90 miles an hour.
And the plan is simple. Get ahead with a fastball and then utilize your other pitches. Well, he hasn't gotten ahead of a hitter yet. Falls behind Jeter 2-1. So You expect to see more of the same, that fastball.
Well, we talked about them being the most patient ball club in the major leagues. They walk more than anybody else. Their on-base percentage is the highest of any other team. Yankees lead the American League. Look at that in walks, on-base percentage for the second straight year. Last year they won 96 games, finished 2 games behind the Baltimore Orioles, and were really just an inning away of going back to the World Series. Last year the Yanks were 4 outs away from advancing to the American League Championship Series, but lost in the first round when they were beaten by the Cleveland Indians. Sandy Alomar went deep off Mariano Rivera, and New York could not come back from that. Well, he's come back aggressively with that fastball. Good location. It's 3-2.
12 pitches he's thrown this inning. All have been fastballs.
Comes back fastball, foul off again. Rich is being very aggressive.
He's pitching according to the scoreboard. Got a 3-run lead, and he realizes what his job is. McDowell going 7, and you figure Percival will come on in the 9th. He's got 1 inning to get through, so he doesn't really have to worry about pacing himself. It's just a matter of getting his pitches over the plate.
Comes back right down the middle, and again Jeter fouls it off. This is a great at-bat by Derek. DeLucia has thrown him 3 very good fastballs, and he's fouled all of them off. The count stays 3-2. Knobloch had a 14-pitch at-bat earlier this year. Jeter has had 1 of 12 pitches earlier this season. Fighting his way to get on base any way possible. And he misses ball 4. So Derek works the 1-out walk, and here comes trouble in Paul O'Neill.
DeLucia dropped down just a little bit delivering this pitch, trying to show a different angle to the batter Jeter, but missed the strike zone, and the Yankees have a runner on base for Paul O'Neill.
O'Neill has grounded out, walked, and struck out. Paul only hit .241 on the past road trip. The Angels are hoping they caught him at the right time. But this guy is just a flat good hitter. Came in at .311. O'Neill last year hit .324. He has hit as high as .359 the year he led the American League in batting back in 1994. Every year with these Yankees since coming over from Cincinnati, Paul O'Neill has been over .300. They play O'Neill in the outfield to spray the ball towards left. There is a huge gap in right center field between Garrett Anderson, you see, and Reggie Williams. Orlando Palmeiro has come in about 5 steps in left field. Jeter does not go, and the pitch stays down. 1 ball, no strikes. Out comes Phil Nevin. Percival and Trevor Wilson.
I don't think there's really a need to worry about Jeter at first base. I know he's a stolen base threat, successful in 24 out of 30 attempts. But in this situation, I don't think he's going for 2 reasons. One, they trail by 3, and the second one, and probably what's a little more important, is that by staying at first base, it keeps Erstad at the bag and opens up a big hole for the left-handed hitting O'Neill.
In there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rich started the inning by getting Chuck Knobloch in a ground out to second base. Jeter then fighting off 3 3-2 fastballs. Reached on a base on balls. O'Neill now has the count even 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The Angels with these 5 games at New York, 3 going to Boston and Fenway Park, 2 at Cleveland. The Rangers 3 with Detroit, then to Chicago for 3, and to Tiger Stadium for 3 more. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the schedule much more difficult for Anaheim now, as they've grabbed a 2.5-game lead in the West after Texas had to go through the rough schedule with New York, Boston, and Cleveland, while the Angels were playing the Chicagos, Torontos, Detroits of the world.
Don't you think those thoughts were going through the minds of Texas when that ball game finished last night? Goodbye and good riddance for these Yankees. Hope we see you in the postseason.
Well, the Angels know to win the West, they've got to pitch well. They've done that tonight. They have to get back Ken Hill. They'll get him back Friday as he goes against the Boston Red Sox. Just low. 3-2.
Third consecutive batter for New York that's gone to a 3-2 count. You talked about being patient. Yes, they are. But these New York fans are impatient. They want to see some runs on the board for their Yankees.
He struck him out through the fastball right by O'Neill.
O'Neill, who passed on a couple of pitches that were low in the strike zone, opts for the one about belled high. Swings right through it, becomes a strikeout victim, and there are 2 outs in the 8th for New York.
And O'Neill steamed as usual. He runs in a high emotion throughout his baseball career. One of the nicest guys off. But when he is playing, he is into the game. Now Bernie Williams is one of the heroes of their 12-9 come-from-behind victory on Saturday night against the Texas Rangers. Strike 1.
Fastball inside corner might have seemed a little bit high, but nonetheless, it's the first time that DeLucia has gotten ahead of a New York hitter. It'll be interesting to see if he goes with an off-speed pitch.
And when DeLucia gets 0-1 on a hitter, the opponent's only hit 184. If he goes 1-0 on a hitter, the batters are 269. Jeter walked. 2 outs, 8th inning. Angels by 3. Breaking ball misses away.
So he did go for an off-speed pitch. Now, if you're Bernie Williams, standing at the plate, taking a look at DeLucia, and you're thinking, what's he going to throw? What do you think? What are you looking for right here? I'm looking fastball.
Fastball low and away.
Yeah, and then if it's a breaking ball, I take it.
No, they're coming inside. Or they're throwing over. Sometimes that's the indicator.
I'll tell you what might be an indicator at times is that you see that glove go down. You see that catcher drop that glove. That's usually a sign to throw to the base, but that normally happens with a runner on second base. There you see Nevin taking a look into the dugout, see if there's any kind of play they want on.
Just misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1. Williams sends a ground ball. Troy Gloss. He goes to second, gets the force there, ending the inning. Nicely done by Rich DeLucia as he shuts out the Yankees in the 8th inning.
Tonight on Prime 9 News.
They're the police who try to keep the lid on gang activities. Tonight, right along with the LAPD crash unit to see how they do the impossible.
Prime 9 News tonight starting at 8.
Tomorrow at 4:30, it's a showdown in the Big Apple. Anaheim Salmon, Edmonds, and Anderson battle the record-setting Bronx Bombers, Bernie, Derek, and Paul. Watch the series of the season, Angels, Yankees, tomorrow at 4:30 on KCAL 9.
Finally, a website that's more user-friendly, different from all the rest. KCAL.com, your place on the internet for local news and information. The latest on Southern California sports. And links to hundreds of sources for all the information you need. KCAL.com, a news service from the TV station that's all about Southern California. KCAL 9.
Got a minute?
I got a fish.
Well, Toyota's National Clearance Event is on. Right now, get big savings on a new 4Runner, Toyota's #1 selling SUV. Even get incredible savings on a new RAV4. There's a huge selection of SUVs priced to move like never before. Get super low financing and low monthly payments when you buy or lease before September 7th. So get down to your Toyota dealer's National Clearance Event now.
Guests on Angels Baseball on KCAL 9 may receive a gift from Pinseeker. Pinseeker's TPW2 oversized metalwood driver with graphite shaft. Superior design, quality, and performance. Innovatively designed for the discriminated golfer from Pinseeker. And just outside Yankee Stadium, there's a look at the house that Ruth built. 1927 was the greatest year of all time. People talk about here in New York. A great ball club won 110 games, lost only 44, swept the Pirates 4-0. Well, this club is on a record pace. They have won 94 games this year, lost only 33. But they are down tonight to the Anaheim Angels as the Angels begin this huge 10-game road trip. And the new pitcher is Mike Buddy, just called up from the minor leagues today.
Buddy, 27 years old, makes his home in Berea, Ohio, and attended Wake Forest University. It's our first look at him. DeSarcina bloops a single in the left field. That leads things off for the Angels in the ninth.
So DeSar with 3 hits on the night, a single, a double to drive in 2 runs and break that 2-2 tie that Garrett Anderson had set with his home run, and now a single to lead off the 9th inning. So Gary with some clutch baseball tonight, and as usual playing his flawless defense.
Well, with Pettit out of there, with his great pickoff move to first base, it'll be interesting to see with Reggie Williams at the plate if DeSarcina will be off. Angels enjoy a 3-run lead in this ballgame in the 9th inning.
Here is Reggie Williams. Scott Brocious coming in, anticipating what might be an Angel bunt, and they throw to first base to see if Reggie gives way and indicates what he'll do early.
Well, for Collins, he's got some options. Advance DeSarcina by the bunt. If he doesn't feel comfortable, do that. Put on the hit and run, as DeSarcina has shown pretty good speed this year and an ability to steal a base. 10 for 14.
Reggie bunts right out in front of home plate. Girardi's only play is first base, and going to second is Gary DeSarcina. I like that baseball. The Angels want one more.
And you also have to play the situation to put a runner in scoring position to produce that run. That'll give Velarde a chance to do it. If he can't do it, that'll be Darren Erstad.
Well, the Angels have come from behind. Came from behind on Saturday to beat the Toronto Blue Jays. We're down 2-0 yesterday and came from behind to beat the Blue Jays again, winning 3-2 on Randy Velarde's clutch triple in the 7th inning. And here he comes again. Randy with 2 RBIs in each of the last 3 games coming into tonight. And he takes a fastball from Buddy for strike 1. Talking with Randy about his great memories here at Yankee Stadium, and he said, certainly in '95 when we were playing the Seattle Mariners and won the first 2 games of the playoffs, and he said Yankee Stadium was packed, and he said it was electric.
There is nothing like postseason here in New York, particularly at Yankee Stadium. And it's always better to be on the side of the guys wearing the pinstripe white uniforms. You come in here and it's a real doghouse if you're the opposition.
Breaking ball misses low. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Randy also recalls the great no-hitter that Jim Abbott pitched for the Yankees, a former Angel, and he said he remembers 2 outs, 9th inning, being totally flat-footed at short. And he looks over, and the first baseman, Mattingly, and the second baseman were on their toes, and he's going, what am I doing on my heels? He goes, he was so nervous, and sure enough, the ball was hit to him. He made the play for the final out, and Jim Abbott got his no-hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Velarde's been on 3 times, a pair of hits and the walk. Ground ball towards right field, base hit. Here comes DiSarcina. Here comes the throw by Paul O'Neill. It is not in time, and the Angels do take a 6-2 lead over New York. So what a comeback for Randy Velarde. Last 3 nights he has just played some great baseball.
This time he goes after a fastball outside corner, hits behind the runner, scoots into right field. O'Neill charges, but he's not going to get to the ball in time to make a throw to the plate that's going to retire DiSarcina. DiSarcina chugging all the way, safe at home, and because the ball eludes the cutoff man, that gives Velarde a chance to end up on second base.
So Randy now 7 runs driven in his last 4 games. He was talking about scuffling. You know how you hit that hot streak when you come back from the disabled list? Well, Randy did that, and then he went into a funk, and he said he was feeling for the baseball. Now 10 hits in the last 21 at bats.
You know, those first couple of days back from the disabled list, you have that adrenaline rush. Then finally it all catches up with you. And I'm not talking just about the fact that you're back. I'm talking about the 1.5 years or so that you spent rehabbing your elbow. That's day in and day out, and it does take a toll on you.
Well, do you think Erstad's glad that Andy Pettitte is not pitching anymore? He has the 1 hit. It was an infield hit and an RBI.
You know, to be honest with you, I don't think it matters to Darren. But I'll tell you this, he'll remember that 1 for 4 he got off of Pettitte, put it in the bank, the memory bank that is, and the next time he faces him, you can bet that he's going to try to do some damage.
Well, Pettitte was breaking him with the curveball and fading away with that changeup, and Buddy has done the same thing last 2 pitches to Darren, and now fallen behind 3-0. First base is open, but what are you thinking about? Tim Salmon is next. Velarde, second base. The 3-0. Erstad rips and sends it high deep to right field, but that ball is twisting and going foul.
Why not turn him loose? You got a 4-run lead, a runner in scoring position. You figure that the young pitcher is going to deliver a fastball. If it's to your liking, go after it. Erstad gets a pitch just about letter high, a little bit premature as he drives this ball deep to right field.
He has not hit a home run in almost 6 weeks. July 10th was the last against Seattle's Jamie Moyer. Velarde, second base. 1 out, a run in as the Angels lead at 6-2. It's off the corner, and it's ball 4, so Erstad walks. That brings up Tim Salmon with just 1 out, and the Angels leading by 4. Meantime, in Texas, Detroit is now down by 5 runs. It's the Rangers 6. The Tigers 1 in the 7th inning. And again, the Angels with a 2.5 game lead with 31 to play after tonight in the American League. Rangers 3 with Detroit, then 3 at Chicago, 3 at Detroit. Then it's 4 home to Minnesota, 3 with Kansas City, 3 Tampa Bay, 3 Baltimore. The change up to Tim Salmon, and it's strike 1. Happy birthday to Tim Salmon. He said one thing he'd love to see, since he can't spend time today with his family, was an Angel win.
What you do with the birthday, if you're a ball player, you just kind of put the celebration on hold. You live for the minute, you take care of your job, and when you get back home, have a piece of that cake.
Well, I asked him before the ball game, what would you like for your birthday? And he said, well, really what I wanted to do was, because we had an off day originally, was spend it with Marcy and the kids. Instead, I'm here, and we'll just try and get a win out of it. He's had a great month of August, hitting .403 this month. One time he had led all the American League with hitting in the month of August, and he still holds that figure at .403. Velarde second base, Erstad first base. Tim swings and smacks it to center field, a hit. Here comes Velarde. Williams' throw is to second base, and the Angels are up by 5.
Buddy doubled up on sliders. He threw the preceding pitch on the outside part of the plate, missed. This time, slider right over the heart of the plate, belled high. Salmon just drives it right back up the middle. Bernie Williams cautiously keeps that ball in front of him, fields it on a hop, but not before a run comes across for the Angels.
So with the left-hander Orlando Palmeiro set to come to the plate, that will do it for Mike Buddy. And Joe Torre likely will go with Graham Lloyd, because the Angels have Palmeiro and Anderson coming to the plate.
Finally, a website that's more user-friendly, different from all the rest. KCAL.com, your place on the internet for local news and information, the latest on Southern California sports, and links to hundreds of sources for all the information you need. KCAL.com, a news service from the TV station that's all about Southern California. KCAL 9.
Find anything hotter and juicier than a Carl's Jr. Double Western, go for it. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
This is the beginning to one of the most challenging road trips of the year for the Anaheim Angels. Tomorrow, Omar Olivares will go against Hideki Irabu at 4:30. Then on Wednesday, doubleheader, Jeff Juden against Mendoza, Steve Sparks against David Wells. On Thursday, Chuck Finley comes back on 3 days rest to pitch against David Cone. Tomorrow and Thursday's game live on KCAL 9, where there's the Zim. Popeye with Joe Torre. Joe, formerly an Angel broadcaster, just a super guy, and he's had a wonderful season. But he knows another challenge begins in October when the playoffs will begin.
Well, he's aware of that, but it's probably his biggest concern right now is Graham Lloyd, who comes into the ball game making his 36th appearance. Take a look at the innings pitched and the number of games he's been in, and you can see how Torre's used him, primarily against left-handed batters. And he's done well against lefties, limiting them to just a 194 batting average. The man he's going to face, left-handed hitting Orlando Palmeiro.
Lloyd, a big guy at 6 feet, 8 inches tall. He is from Geelong, Victoria, Australia.
You know where that is?
It's out in the outback.
Okay. Somewhere between here and there.
It's yonder, I know that. Way yonder. 2 on with just 1 out. And there is strike 1 to Orlando Palmeiro. Palmeiro came on as a defensive replacement for Todd Green in the last inning. Lloyd won't throw anything straight. He'll sink it, he'll slide it. And Palmeiro has become the Angels' leadoff man. Now that Darren Erstad has moved to the number 3 position in the lineup. There's Darren at second base. Palmeiro takes high. But, you know, Lloyd is from Australia, but Australia does not have the same appreciation of America's pastime as we members of the colonies do. One of the Australian magazines wrote an interesting story about Graham. The pitch misses outside. Here's the quote about Lloyd. Said, "It's good to see an Australian doing well in an obscure sport." He said more people turned out for the parade in New York that know about baseball in Australia. There's a little tapper just in front of the plate. Girardi's throw just in time to get Palmeiro, and 2 outs. The runners advance, Erstad going to third, and to second base, Tim Salmon. Anaheim has put 2 more on the board, now has a 7-2 lead here at Yankee Stadium. Shigetoshi Hasegawa may come in the 9th inning. Percival threw an inning in the 3rd last night, 18 pitches. I believe Terry Collins, if he has a chance, would like to give Troy the night off. I mean, this is going to be a very busy road trip, Jerry.
Factor in the doubleheader on Wednesday, you can see why that he might want to rest Percival.
And Hasegawa probably more likely to get early outs than either DeLucia or Percival. So Hasegawa can have like a 7, 8, 9 pitch inning. He's available tomorrow and then likely on Wednesday again. Garrett Anderson now the batter, and it was Guerin's 2-run home run that tied this game at 2. That young man caught the baseball, so he's happy. Even though the Yankees are not, down by 5 runs. Garrett lifts it in the air, left field side, and it will be foul and out of play. So 2 strikes to Anderson. Boy, was that a big hit. The Angels down 2-0. Pettit is absolutely on fire. Salmon has doubled. Green has just popped up. And G.A. comes up there and just turns on one and rips it from a tough left-hander 425 feet to deep right field to tie the game. And the Angels would score 5 runs in that 7th inning. Erstad third, Salmon second, 2 outs, 9th inning. Back up the middle. Jeter, though, cuts it off, throws in time. It was partially deflected by Graham Lloyd, and then to the shortstop that the Angels come up with 2 important runs to push their lead to 5.
Sooner or later, a Mazda's gonna move you. We just thought we'd speed up the process. It's Mazda's Make Your Move clearance event. Get 0.9% APR financing on thousands of new Mazdas or cash back on Mazda Protege or Mazda B Series. Call or visit our website for details. See your Mazda dealer and make your move today.
Hey, there's still time this summer to get behind the wheel of a Jeep Wrangler for under 15 grand. Or drive home in a new Grand Cherokee. Right now, you can lease one for just $299 a month. Or select 0 down and no monthly payments for 6 months. Some different offers that seem to evoke the same response. At your California Jeep dealer. Who else?
Daddy, can't you come?
Honey, I gotta go to work.
To the men and women at Edison, protecting your service from natural disasters is more than just a job.
Don't worry, we'll save Daddy a seat.
It's a commitment that weathers hardship, hard work, and hard choices.
I'm scared.
Yeah, we got lights.
Thank you, Daddy.
Southern California Edison, the power behind peace of mind.
Bottom of the 9th inning, the Angels with a 7-2 lead on the New York Yankees, and as you can tell, the fans flying out of Yankee Stadium. But the Angels with a commanding 5-run lead. Shigetoshi Hasegawa comes out of the bullpen, and I'd like to tell you that the executive producer of KCAL 9 Sports is Patrick McClanahan. Tonight's game was produced by Chuck McKean and directed by Michael Ireland. Our graphics producer is Mitch Reinhardt. Our associate producer is Jamie Weimer. And our lead videotape operator is Olaf Barr. Here's Shigetoshi Hasegawa.
Hasegawa making his 50th appearance of the season. He's got 81 innings pitched. That's the most by American League relief pitchers. What a job he's done picking up for Mike James, who's out for the remainder of the year. Hasegawa, third pitcher of the night, employed by Terry Collins, has that 5-run lead to work with.
He has a real confident look about him now with the success that he has had this year. The adjustment last year had to be enormous. Coming to a new country, new language, trying to get comfortable, learn the hitters, learn the umpire strike zones. This year, my goodness, he has really been an exceptional pitcher for the Angels setup situation.
He's made the adjustment well, mainly because he didn't let ego get in the way. He was a starter over in Japan. He took a great deal of pride in taking his games in the 7th inning or better. They tried him as a starter a little bit last year. Didn't enjoy the same kind of success, but did seem to find a home in the Angels bullpen as a long reliever. Things turned around a little bit for him when Mike James was unable to pitch this year, and so Hasegawa was the one who was able to pick up for him. And speaking of picking things up, he picks up this tap, headed toward first base off the bat of Martinez, and tags the bag himself.
Hideki Irabu admires a gentleman he knew over in the Japanese leagues, and we will see Hideki Irabu against the Angels and Omar Olivares. But that's what we were talking about also. Hasegawa getting early count outs. 2 pitches, 1 out.
He struggled a little bit with the strike zone last year, making the adjustments not only for hitters but for umpires as well. The American strike zone considerably different. Although Hasegawa very diplomatic about it, saying you make adjustments for wherever you play.
Chili Davis takes a fastball that wanders outside, ball 1. Now Gary DiSarcina came onto the mound, said something. Hasegawa chuckled a little bit, but do you think Gary came out there because he just had to field the ball, run to first base, and he wanted to give him a little break?
Give him a little breather. That was it.
Catch your breath, big fella. Good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. For the Angels with an impressive comeback tonight. Might remember the month of June, it was all about comebacks. Angels went 22-6 in June, and 12 of those victories were come from behind wins. Tonight the Angels were behind 2-0 going into the 7th inning, and they scored 5 runs. A 2-run homer by Garrett Anderson started for Terry Collins' Angels. Then a single by Gloss, a double by Nevin, and a clutch double by Gary DiSarcina broke that 2-2 tie, but GA got him started. Angels would score 1 more in the 7th on the infield hit by Darren Erstad. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Chili Davis, and scored 2 runs in this 9th inning. But this would be a tremendous lift for the ball club on a very aggressive and challenging road trip. Look at that pitch. Took something off. Chili Davis swings and misses, striking out. So 2 outs in the 9th.
Hasegawa kept working Chili Davis away. This time he continues working away, pulls back a little bit on this pitch. Chili way out in front. Watch Chili's head. Pulls the head out just a little bit as he takes that swing. Loses side of the baseball. Mark it down in your book as a strikeout. The Angels need 1 more to close the book on this ball game.
Here's Chad Curtis. Curveball stays high. 1 ball, no strikes. But just a terrific win this would be for the Angels against the best team in baseball in 1998. A better record after 127 games than even the 1927 Yankees or the 1961 ball club.
Well, remember, this win does a couple of things, Steve. If you take a look at the teams that are currently in first place, you could see that the Angels could face the Yankees if postseason play were to begin today. They play Boston on this trip, Cleveland on this trip. Both teams will be eligible for postseason play.
The Yankees have not lost a series at home all year long. The record at home, 48-9.
So when you figure it all together, this is the first time these teams have squared off here at Yankee Stadium. The Angels get an idea of exactly what they're capable of doing inside the house that Ruth built.
And if the Angels win tonight, they will move into a tie with Cleveland. And if the Angels finish with a better record than the Cleveland Indians, the Angels would then play the Boston Red Sox. And they would host the Boston Red Sox because Boston would be the wild card winner. But a long way to go. Still in the month of August.
But these are all things that are food for thought. And further down the line, if you want to think in that direction.
And that's why maybe in October we'll be thinking about Garrett Anderson's big home run in Yankee Stadium on a Monday to open a huge series. Might be talking about Randy Velarde's clutch base hit to win the game yesterday to give Chuck Finley the victory. Or the night before when Velarde came through again to beat the Toronto Blue Jays, who had been playing such good baseball. And Randy returns to New York with 3 hits tonight. Garrett Anderson with the big bomb right behind him. Chad Curtis takes inside ball 4. So after Hasegawa got in front 1-2, he loses Chad Curtis. And Jerry, right now the pennant race has New York, the Eastern leader, with 94 wins. Cleveland and Anaheim at 71, with the Angels trying for 72 tonight and very close with just 1 out to go and a 5-run lead. Wild card, it is a tough one, and if you include the Angels, they're 6 games behind the Boston Red Sox for the wild card lead. Angels could do some damage in Boston because they play them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Fenway Park. Meantime, Texas has a 6-3 lead in the 7th inning tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Here's Scott Brocious, drove in his 80th earlier tonight. Curtis will be given second base. He had about a 12-foot lead and then took off, and the Angel infielders Velarde and DiSarcina just stayed put. No stolen base. Two balls and 1 strike. Seven great innings by Jack McDowell. A shutout frame by Rich DeLucia. And Hasegawa trying to close the door in the 9th. Gets the strike in there. It's now even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
First time I've seen Al Clark call that pitch low and away to a right-handed batter this evening. Couldn't come at a better time, though, could it?
Into the stands. A run will score, and we still are 1 out away from victory, with New York now down by 4 runs.
Gloss makes simply an outstanding play diving for this ball. See it from the high third camera. Another look at it. Comes up with it, hurries his throw just a little bit. Not realizing that Brocious isn't that fast of a runner. Could have taken just a little bit more time to deliver that throw to first base. But those are things that are going to happen. And those are learning times when you have on-the-job training in just your first year of professional baseball. Yankees put a run across as Joe Girardi steps up to the plate. Percival steps up, and Posada steps into home plate.
Jorge Posada with 2 home runs yesterday in Texas. And he takes low and inside ball 1. Posada is their catcher of the future, and the future is right now. Well, right now he has been sharing it, but playing much more than Joe Girardi in the second half. He now has 15 home runs, not only there offensively, but he can catch. Yankees feel he has the second-best throwing arm in the American League to Ivan Rodriguez of Texas. That's some respect. A little tapper back to the mound. Hasegawa up with it. His throw is in time, and the Angels win the first of this 5-game series with the best team in baseball, the New York Yankees. Garrett Anderson with a clutch 2-run home run to tie it in the 7th. Then Gary DiSarcino broke the 2-2 tie, and the Angels go on to win 7-3.
There is no book that tells you how to feel completely alive. However, there is the Katera Owner's Manual.
See your Southern California authorized Cadillac Katera dealers.
Katera, the caddy that zigs.
Hey, where's my ball? Okay, first off, I want to welcome the new guys to Region 29. Plus, let's hear it for Chuck, who persuaded his 100th customer to try a sourdough jack. We ordered that eye, Chucky. Steve-O?
Okay, just a reminder from Jack, you may call these sourdough slices toasty but not crunchy. The patty is juicy, cheese is melted, and the bacon count is 4 pieces. Any questions?
Okay, let's be safe out there. Watch out for cats.
On an average day, Edison turns on the power for over 11 million people, 5,200 big businesses, 380,000 small businesses, and countless writers. Delivering that power takes the days and nights of 12,057 employees and a century of technology, service, and guts. Think that's a lot? Not when you realize this is what brings Millie's Victorian lovers together. Southern California Edison, the power behind peace of mind.
Isn't it great when you find some cash you didn't know you had? A subway token here, a wet 20 there. Oh, look, there's $3,000. Right now, you can save $3,000 versus an 8% APR car loan with 0.9% APR for 48 months on a stylish new 1998 Eclipse, Montero Sport, or Mirage at the Mitsubishi Found Money event. Not 24 or 36 like other deals, but 48 months to really lower your payments. Wake up and drive.
Holy cow, the market dropped big time. Better call my broker and put in a buy order.
You never did follow the crowd, JT. Is that why you're having breakfast for dinner?
Logistics, Cliff. I delivered papers at dawn. No time for breakfast. So, I eat it for dinner.
You'd like IHOP's new International Best Breakfast. 2 delicious Swedish, German, or French pancakes, plus eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, and hash browns, just $3.99.
Okay, Cliff. I'll explain supply and demand, but this is the last time.
Anaheim Angels baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Edison International, the power behind peace of mind. By your Southern California Ford dealers. See your Ford dealer today. And by Carl's Jr. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face. You can barely hear the final tunes of New York, New York, sung by Frank Sinatra, and the theme goes, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And for the Angels, that certainly is true, because the Angels, with a 7-3 win over the New York Yankees, the best team in baseball, who started the night 61 games over 500. Jack McDowell gets the win. Andy Pettitte takes the loss. Garrett Anderson with a huge home run. And Garrett Anderson made it in New York with this blast, brought to you by Edison International. It is our power play of the game. We go back to the 7th inning. Watch this swing. A 425-foot bomb to deep right field off the Utz potato chip sign. Garrett Anderson's 2-run home run tied it at 2, and the Angels took over thereafter.
A single by Gloss, a double by Nevin, another double by DeSarcina. That was part of the 6 hits and the 5 runs scored in that 7th inning by the Angels. But the theme song to this game ought to be Get Off on a Good Foot by James Brown and not New York, New York.
Right you are, Jer. Our next telecast here on KCAL 9 will be tomorrow, August 25th at 4:30 as the Angels face the Yankees in the second game of this series. The executive producer of Angels baseball is Patrick McClanahan. Tonight's game was produced by Chuck McKean and directed by Michael Ireland. For my partner, the maestro, the music master, Jerry Royce, I'm Steve Physiok saying have a good night, everyone. This has been a presentation of KCAL 9 Sports, LA's sports leader.